Learn to improve conversions and generate more leads with the video podcast at marketingoptimization.tv.
Hi, and welcome to the Marketing Optimization Podcast with Alex Designs. I'm your host, Alex Harris, and today we have Sue B. Zimmerman. How you doing, Sue?
I'm great.
Welcome. This is the 100th episode of the Marketing Optimization Podcast. 2 years of videos, and I'm very happy to have Sue here to celebrate with me on talking all about one of my favorite platforms ever, Instagram. Use it every single day. How we can optimize our Instagram to use it for our business or for our life and use it for purpose intentionally. To get started, how would you use Instagram really to celebrate this 100th episode? How can I promote my business, generate leads, become a Insta-famous person?
Okay, so first I want to give you a huge shout out, and this is one of my little branded things that I do, Alex, which is I paint my nails different colors so I can give you some love with a hashtag. And to celebrate your 100th episode, I don't have a party hat, but I made you a nice little hashtag 100 sign behind me because I wanted to bring some celebratory graphics, eye candy, visual into this Instagram interview. So I think before you just jump on Instagram and start posting and start following people like any other platform, you need to have a strategy, a visual strategy. Maybe the visual is just photos, or maybe you're deciding to add 15-second videos. And so like anything else you do in your business, you need to have a plan. And a lot of businesses fail here because they're just putting up stuff because they think it's of interest to their followers. But there's so many things that you need to do to set your account up for success. So I'm hoping that we can talk through some of those elements today and really help your listeners understand that it's more than just selfies, sunsets, cute babies and puppies and quotes. You really need to humanize your brand, I like to say, and capture in the moment visual eye candy that will give value to your brand, to your passion, to your interests, to your ideas, and have it be very relevant and real and sometimes raw. Instagram allows you to basically take an insider's view into someone's digital scrapbook, I like to say it. Because anyone all over the world, and Alex, I don't know if you know this, but there's 300 million active users as of June 2015, probably a lot more upward at this point. That was the last statistics I heard, but Instagram/Facebook projects there to be a billion in 3 years. So every week, the number I heard is that there's 2 million people coming on the platform. So you definitely want to get in the sandbox and play, and if for anything, do some market research. And when I say market research, understand what your keywords are around your business and search them and see what everyone else is doing. So if you're confused and not quite sure how to put yourself out there visually, you can see what you like that other people are doing, what inspires you, educates you, entertains you, makes you want to keep coming back to that same account for more information.
It's interesting the way it's really changed because, photos on Facebook, it's kind of one-dimensional, but on Instagram, it's very different. It's more artistic for sure. You have to be more creative, and you can do it in different ways. Even if you're not a professional photographer, it's very easy to find a good quote, just post something that inspires you. And I've kind of done that for many years, but in the last year, I've been pretty intentional about how I'm going to use Instagram for the rest of my business, because I think it's a different way of spreading out your creativity and expressing yourself in different ways. And just recently I put out a free course, and I've been kind of dripping the course out, the photos of the course, and that seems like I'm creating like this story of what I want people to kind of take away from the pictures and the things that I'm doing, and then every once in a while I'm kind of adding some personal flavor to it. So, I don't know if there's any specific best practices or tips to follow when you're kind of, putting yourself out there through photography on Instagram.
Yeah, so I'm on your account right now, just kind of looking through, and it's somewhat confusing because, I'll see a picture of you and a person that's a little blurry, and you never, ever, ever want to post a photo that's blurry, out of focus, not cropped well. You need to have very high standards on Instagram in terms of photography, and there's so many third-party apps. And right in the app Instagram, there's so many tools and filters that you can use. So there's really no excuse to post a blurry photo. But what I want to bring to your attention, Alex, and I know that you and I chatted about this a little bit before the interview, which is how your account looks, not just as an image, as one post, but as a feed as a whole. And this to me is just too salesy. You don't want to capture any screenshots of your website, of a catalog type image. It comes across as very salesy and very desperate. And whatever you're posting here, like your landing pages, and I mean, all of this is basically content from your website. People want the experience on Instagram to be much more of an insider's view behind your business, ways that you can humanize your brand. Maybe it's the thought leaders that you align with, the books that you're reading, behind the scenes. I mean, you were periscoping before we got on and showcasing that. This is just trying too hard with no strategy here is my interpretation at it at a first glance. And so I'm leaving feeling somewhat confused and not quite sure. I'm looking at a post that has Google on it and SurveyMonkey, and like, who is this and what are you doing? Like, get your book. So it's just confusing, to be quite honest. And I'm honest, so I'm just sharing this with you.
No, it's good. It was like the last 30 days I've been experimenting with, trying different things, and I've gotten great engagement. But you're right, it does come off a little bit salesy, to marketing focused, not personal enough. So.
Yeah, and people don't like to be sold to at all on Instagram. They want to experience a feeling, an emotion, a connection to the business, the brand, the person behind the brand. And you mentioned quotes, and I do have 6 different Instagram accounts. We can talk about them if you want to, but the one I want to just bring to your attention now is the.daily.ig, and you can link that in the show notes. That account is all about quotes from speakers, thought leaders, blog posts. Whenever I travel and I hear other leaders on the stage or books that I'm reading, I extract quotes that I think are relevant in my space and the way that I view the business world. And I'm sharing that on that one account. If you are going to use quotes for your business, you have to make sure they align with whatever your core message of your brand or business is. Yes, quotes get likes and a little bit of engagement, or a lot of engagement, I should say, but you have to do it in context to your business. Just because you're putting up a quote from Steve Jobs, and by the way, they're all awesome, if those quotes don't align with what you're trying to do on Instagram, it just makes it seem like you're just trying to use Steve Jobs to get likes and followers on Instagram. It has to be congruent with your brand strategy. And so quotes are great. I'm not dissing the quotes. I'm just saying make sure that they represent you and your messaging.
Yeah, that absolutely makes sense. But so how do you manage 6 accounts? I mean, you're logging in and out all the time, basically?
Well, let me tell you, Alex. So I make money every day on Instagram. So the positive reinforcement of playing in the Instagram sandbox is kind of the dopamine effect of doing well, right? And yes, I log in and out. I do have a team. One account, the Instagram Expert, and to all the listeners, I invite you to come on over and follow me there. That's one of my business accounts. And the one that if you want to up your game on Instagram is the account to follow, because that is where I teach Instagram tips, tools, and strategies daily. So I take you there because I want your experience there to be of value and for you to come back every day and get value. I'm not showing you my kids, my dog, my husband. It's clean content giving value as the Instagram Expert. Now, if you want to know what Subi Zimmerman's doing every day, come on over to my personal account and you'll see my comings and goings when I'm speaking, when I'm traveling, when I'm working out, some of my healthy food. And you might actually not be interested in seeing all that. But what happens on that account actually, Alex, and that's where I have the most followers, is that people feel more connected to me, the person behind the brand. And I am building the like, know, and trust factor every day by staying top of mind on that account. So most people do follow Subi Zimmerman and the Instagram Expert. And then those who are my super fans from Creative Live, because I've done 2 Creative Live courses around the Instagram marketing space for small businesses, I have another account called Instagal Live, and that is geared towards creators, creators being photographers, designers, artists, DIYers, some social media strategists, but for the most part, a very, very creative audience follows that account. So what I want to say right here, right now, is that the more laser focused you can get on the content, the visual content that you share on Instagram, the greater your success will be. Because people like to experience your visual content in a way that they know that when they're going to come back, they're going to get more of that same information. There's a reason that they started following you. And if you're not giving them that information, they're going to unfollow you.
Yeah, that makes sense. And as you've built, your platform with Instagram, what are overall the objectives? You said you're making money there. We don't have to go into details of your business, but how would you recommend other marketers use it to leverage for their own business, whether they're running an e-commerce site or just trying to generate leads?
Yeah. So in terms of generating leads, by the way, we generate 200 to 250 new opt-ins a week from Instagram. Pretty crazy. Because there's only one live link on Instagram. And I like that there is. I think it makes people work harder to get to that link by you having to give value so they want to click it. So I say that Instagram is like a natural lead funnel. And if you set your bio up for success, and we can talk about that in a minute, and you post a great photo that really captures someone emotionally, as I discussed earlier, and they like what they see, most likely they're going to read your comment below, your description. And in the description, you can add even more value. And I call this microblogging, where you can add more content in the description. You actually get 2,200 characters in that space. So you can really, for someone like me that doesn't like to blog and write, we do have a blog, but that's not something that I do for our business. I don't really love it. I love writing the descriptions on Instagram because I'm in the moment thinking about what value I want to give with each post I post. So it comes very, very easily to me. And I know that's not the case for a lot of business owners. But again, when you have that positive reinforcement of growing your leads daily, of actually making money on Instagram, it makes you want to go back and keep doing what you're doing because it's working, right? Yeah. So the lead funnel, so they see your picture, they like what they see, they read the description, and then you've gained their trust. They like the value, and when you do the call to action correctly in your bio, they're going to click in and go where you want to take them. So we frequently take people to the following places, Alex. We take them to partnerships that we have for affiliates. I was recently a partner with Amy Porterfield for her Profit Lab. And back in February, I was a partner with Marie Forleo. So we take people to our partners. We also take people to our webinar signups. The way that we grow our list is by taking people to our Instagram strategy guide, which I invite you all to go grab, which is in the bio right now on Subi Zimmerman and also on the Instagram Expert. And frequently, Alex, will take people to our YouTube channel. We love YouTube, and our channel's growing. I have almost 3,000 subscribers, which is pretty cool, because YouTube has great search capability, and we transcribe all my videos. And a lot of people just Google Instagram marketing, Instagram for business. They'll land on my video. They'll see my Instagram playlist. They might start watching me for 5 to 10 hours. Some people have told me this. And then they're like, okay, I like your personality. I like what you do. I like how you teach it. I want a strategy session. Sign me up. So it's a place to, again, where are you going to take them to earn that trust, to grow that likability? And you want to make sure that wherever you take them, you are giving insane value and that their experience off of Instagram is mobile friendly.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I was going to mention that. Yeah, making sure that the page that they go to is responsive, it's short, call to action above the fold. Definitely having a mobile friendly landing page for each of those different links is important.
Yes. So you have to take them to a good experience if you're taking them off Instagram, because people don't like to go off Instagram when they're in Instagram. In fact, here's an example of accounts I know that do a great job at keeping people on their Instagram feed. So I'm going to give a shout out to my daughter. She's only 19. So take note, the teenagers are rocking it on Instagram. So my daughter, Lila, has an account called Fresh Fit and Fearless, AND. She has over 72,000 followers, and she posts her vegan, healthy, raw recipes and food that she eats. And not only does she post it in a photo, great quality, she gives a great description. She gives you the recipe on Instagram. She doesn't take you off to go to her blog post to access it. She keeps you on the platform that she knows her followers are enjoying to see it. She's in the process of creating ebooks that people will be able to buy right from Instagram. And this is a brilliant way for anyone listening that is starting out and is overwhelmed with, how do I create an online course, or how do I make money on Instagram? You can do a very simple PDF download or an ebook if it's of great value. So I want you to think about how you can do that for your business, because it doesn't have to be all that complicated.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, giving away. I mean, I've opted into a lot of the self-help ones. I'm very interested in following some of those people, and I really like some of the free PDFs that they give away. And I've taken some steps of what they've done, and I've definitely generated a few leads from Instagram myself. But also, there's a little bit more of an advanced strategy that you can combine it with Facebook. And if people go over to your website, you can actually drop a retargeting pixel, and then when you go back to Facebook, you can continue to serve them content if they've actually visited to you. It's a little bit of an advanced strategy, but if you know about retargeting, it's a great way to bring people from Instagram and connect with them continuously going forward with retargeting pixels.
Yes. So to that point, Alex, I like that you brought that up. One of the great benefits of Instagram is the syndication capacity out. So you can share it to Facebook, as you mentioned, and not just to your personal page. You can share it right to your business page, which is where you want to take them. You can share it to Twitter. You can share it to Flickr or Foursquare if you're on any of those, or Tumblr, I should say Tumblr or Flickr. And I share over to Facebook and I share over to Twitter. And when I don't share right away, because the strategy for me is let the conversation die down, have the hashtag strategy, and reap the benefits of the hashtag search. And once you see the likes dying down, and you can go into a free tool called iconosquare.com to look at your stats and look at your engagement and the time of day that you should be posting, what filters you're using, who's liking you, unfollowing you, all that good stuff. So definitely put that in the show notes for people to access as a tool to see how your efforts are panning out. But when you share over to Facebook, like Alex just said, you can then capture people on Facebook's attention who aren't necessarily on Instagram yet. They will be soon. And there's a hyperlink when you share. So when you click on that hyperlink, it takes you right back into Instagram. So growing your account from your Facebook followers or fans on your business page is a really great strategy to share from Instagram to Facebook, as it is to share to Twitter. Now, I want to talk about something a little advanced here about Twitter. Is that okay, Alex? Okay, so when you share from Instagram to Twitter, you share and it's just a link. So it's not that pretty. It doesn't take up real estate on Twitter. And you know, Twitter moves so darn quickly. This is one of the reasons I love Instagram, because it's just that digital scrapbook that doesn't go away. So you can use a tool that's called If This Then That, and you can set up a recipe. So every time we post on the Instagram Expert account, that post shows up in Twitter as an image and takes up real estate. And people like to see images. We're talking about Instagram, visual eye candy, visual content. People process visuals 66,000 times faster than text. So having the visual show up in Twitter is very advantageous if you want to capture someone's attention and you're doing a really great job posting on Instagram.
Yeah, that's a good point as far as the different ways to connect and all. And you mentioned that strategy. You said the Iconosquare.
Iconosquare, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one, because I was interested in finding out how you optimize to figure out right times that your most audience is online to engage with them. So yeah, I definitely have to check that out as well. Are there any other tools that you're using to connect with Instagram? I know me personally right now, I don't like, just a personal pet me, I don't like when people post photos too much all at one time. It drives me nuts. So sometimes, even if I'm not ready to post yet, I'll save it for later, or I'll use Latergram. I don't know how you feel about those third-party apps.
Yeah, so Latergram, interestingly enough, I just had a call with one of the owners, Matt, this morning on Latergram, because I'm building out a course with Jen Herman called Insta Academy, and we want to include them in the course. Latergram is actually the only tool that I recommend anyone uses to schedule their Instagram posts, because Instagram is all cool with them using with Latergram being a tool that is okay to use versus some of these other scheduling applications that don't comply with Instagram's API. So you've got to be really careful with what you're using. That's the only one I would even mention. We do not use any tools to schedule. As I said earlier, we're fine with doing it on our own. We used to use Schedulegram. I don't recommend using that anymore. And we just have greater success when we're posting in the moment. We use a lot of third-party apps. And if you want to pull up an article that I contributed to with Ian Cleary from Razor Social, Alex, we did an article together about some great Instagram apps, talking about both the Android and the iPhone app. So you can link that in the show notes if you want to grab that.
Absolutely. That's a great resource to go to. Also, you all of the content you put out there is just great resources. I have a particular blog post, I believe it was on Post Planner from a long time ago, with the top hashtags to use. And I've been kind of showing my wife how to use Instagram in a little different way, and I showed her some of the hashtags to use, and it immediately makes a difference if you definitely use the right hashtags.
Yeah, so Josh is a good friend of mine over at Post Planner, and we collaborated, and I contributed to his blog. He's got a great blog, so I'm glad you mentioned Josh. And we did just that. We created this post where we kind of did some teaser hashtag categories, because on my website, subiezimmerman.com, I do have a resource guide for anyone that's struggling with their hashtags, where we cover 35 different categories for different industries. And these are not the popular ones and not the ones that you can just Google and say, what are the best hashtags for the travel industry or for business coaches? We spent time researching each and every hashtag, knowing that they would get eyeballs on your posts and weren't necessarily the popular ones. The popular ones don't work. It's the more niche specific and laser focused ones that set you apart from everyone else posting within a hashtag.
Yeah, and also I been doing a little research on how to get more followers. It seems like the big thing right now, and I guess it's pretty popular in marketing in general, is a lot of people teaming up together. I see all of a sudden these big accounts with millions of followers, whatever. All of a sudden, I guess maybe people are paying them to promote their stuff or whatever it is. But it seems like that's a big way to get a lot of followers, a lot of ones. And I don't know if that's necessarily the right way to do it or not.
Yeah, that's a collaboration is key on Instagram. And if you can match up to someone who shares your same values within your company or have a similar amount of followers where it's a mutually beneficial arrangement. I'll give you a couple examples here that I know of. So ps.New York, you're going to get stuck in a crazy, adorable feed on Instagram. Pumpkin and Sunshine, New York. It's all about this adorable dog, Cookie. And the mother, Olia, is a photographer. In fact, she did a photo shoot for me in New York City, and she's just amazing. And this dog is adorable to look at. And they get a lot, they have over 70,000 followers. So they get a lot of companies that just simply send her free products and clothes for Cookie and little treats because they want to be featured on her feed. So a lot of people send free stuff to get featured. Also, companies pay Olia to get featured. I know that she did something with a watch company recently, and Martha Stewart featured her recently. So a lot of the bigger brands are reaching out to Pumpkin and Sunshine because it's quite the adorable, famous little account that everyone loves to go to. My daughter, who I mentioned earlier, Lila, has companies sending her free protein powder, free bars, free granola, because they want her to tag them on Instagram. And she has. And so what happens, Alex, is they see the tag, they get a notification that they've been tagged, and they repost Lila's content on their feed. So this is called user-generated content, UGC. on Instagram. When you've been featured on someone's account and they really like your product, your service, your ideas, or, whatever it is that you're selling, and then it's like getting a huge shout out that you've earned, that you haven't asked for, that is just so organically done because of the value that you give. And that is how Instagram is meant to be, where you are collaborating with like-minded companies that align with you. So there's huge growth opportunities when you reach out to companies that can help you grow your account by whatever it is that they're selling that aligns with what you're selling.
Yeah, that's actually some advice that I give to my clients a lot. Try to align yourself with popular people, Instagram, YouTubers. That way you can get your products into the eyeballs of your target market. A great way to get some free PR, or maybe it's not free, but get you some exposure out there. I know you have a lot of experience in this. You have a e-commerce store, or retail store, and that's how you got started on Instagram, right?
Yeah, so it's not e-commerce anymore. I actually this year took down the website because I have so much going on, and quite frankly, I'd rather be making money directly from Instagram than even dealing with maintaining a website. So we just have a single page up there. It's subidoo.com, and my retail store is subidoo.capecod. You can use a dot or an underscore if someone's taken your name, just to let all of you out there know that there's challenges when you jump on Instagram too late and someone has your business name or someone has your name. So we used a dot because the location, Cape Cod, is a destination that people are aware of, and it has a lot of cachet. So that account was actually created from my Subi Zimmerman account, which started as Subidoo Gal. Like, I've changed my account names and I've changed my strategies based on the success that I've been having. And what I learned, Alex, as I talked about at the beginning, is if your account is too confusing, no one's going to know what you do. So when I had just one account and I showed pictures of me and I showed products of my store, and then I started talking about Instagram marketing, people are like, who are you and what do you do? It's just too confusing. So I extracted out the Instagram expert. I extracted out subidoo.capecod, and those feeds are very clean feeds of content. So if you like preppy clothing, jewelry, and accessories with a Cape Cod vibe, come follow me at subizimmerman.capecod. And you're not forced to see that content inside of my personal name, or obviously not inside the Instagram expert, because like I said earlier, the success really happens when you get very laser focused with the content that you share.
Right. And now let's briefly just talk about video. I've been trying to think about ways to use video. And really, it's not even to use the video, it's to get the video onto my iPhone in the right kind of crop, in the right way. Is that just like finding the right app to combine all the videos together?
Yeah, you just need the app. So VideoHance is an awesome app. Ben Wong, the developer, is also the developer of WordSwag, one of my other favorite apps for iPhone only. But VideoHance is a video editing tool. Pick, Play, Post is another one. You just need to find a good video app that you can edit in, and it's great. The editing is so easy to do right in the Instagram app. Yeah. I mean, in the third-party app, and then you can bring it over to Instagram very easily. Yeah,
Pick, Play, Post is, I think that's what I'm using right now. So like you take the video from all these different places, and then you're like combining it all, into this one 15-second clip, so forth. And you probably do it with your like Periscope videos as well.
No, I'm really strategic with how I'm doing Periscope. I'm kind of obsessed about Periscope, I have to be honest. I'm at Subi Zimmerman on Periscope. I have almost 800 followers. I've done 40 broadcasts, and I am using Periscope to do Instagram marketing live. And I'm actually teaching from the computer. I'm teaching through some of my strategy sessions with my clients. I'm featuring other Instagram accounts, and I'm being cohesive with my branding. I'm not just on Periscope chit-chatting and talking about what I'm doing. I always come at it from a place of, what value can I share in the space of Instagram marketing for business? And so I've been getting a lot of great comments and growing a nice following there.
Very cool. Let's talk. We spoke about Periscope, how to find you on Instagram. How can people find more about you, your website, Twitter, and so forth?
Yeah, so I'm one of the lucky few that has my name everywhere, Sue B. Zimmerman. My website, you definitely want to visit there to grab our download, our free download. It's that strategy guide I talked about earlier, and a lot of people say, oh my gosh, this is so valuable, I would have paid for it. So you definitely want to go snag that. Follow me on Twitter because I'm very, very active on Twitter. I share out a lot of great links. And you want to follow me on YouTube to get to my Instagram playlist. And lastly, you want to come to my free Facebook group, Instagram Results with an S. We have almost 4,000 people in that group, all Instagram wannabe enthusiasts, collaborators, anyone that's trying to sell and pitch stuff. I just take them out of the group and block them forever. But for the most part, the community there is awesome. I'm constantly sharing articles, giving value with interviews that I've done and Google Hangouts that I've done, and there's a lot of fun content in there from other people talking about apps, challenges, and whenever I do a webinar, I announce it in there. So that's a good place to hang out if you want to be on Instagram and be on Facebook in a good Instagram group.
Awesome, definitely. I'll definitely check that out myself. To close out, what would be some best tips to tell entrepreneurs to use Instagram to, overall use their business or their personal branding to that next level?
Yeah, so we really didn't go through this, and so I'll wrap up with the bio because you have 3 to 6 seconds to make an impression on Instagram with your bio. So you want it to be awesome. You want it to really be using your keywords. I offer this service on my website called Insta Bio, but you want to make sure that your keywords are there. You get 150 characters and you can use emojis. Alex, I saw that you did that. You want to lay it out in a way that is really succinct and easy to follow what you do and who you are. And you want to make sure that you take advantage of in the bio, you have a username, which can be different from the name of your account. So for example, my Sue B. Zimmerman account, when you go into that account, it is my name of the account, obviously, is Sue B. Zimmerman. And then when you go look at my bio, I have it say the Instagram expert. So people know that I'm the Instagram expert. Now, if you go to the Instagram expert, what I say in my bio there is the Instagram expert is Sue B. So you don't have to have it be the same thing as your username. It's more real estate to say what you do. So here's a couple other examples I will tell you. So my good friend Sarissa is the owner of Immerse Photography, IMMERSE Photography. And in her bio, she gives her name, Sarissa, with a camera emoji, and she says, your photographer. So it's just another place to do a shout out to who you are and who you're trying to attract. Let's see, Juice Keys is another one. I love Juice Keys. This is a great account. Juice Keys is located in North Carolina, and so it's a health food store. So they do Juice Keys, and they let you know that they're in North Carolina. So again, you have real estate here that you can take advantage of, and you have 33 characters that you can use, and you can add those emojis, which I think add so much attention and eyeballs to Instagram, and it's a good place to use emojis because everyone kind of knows emoji language now that you can type in emojis and hashtag emojis, and it's really fun. Sure.
Well, cool. Well, I really appreciate your time, Sue. Any last parting words before we close the celebration of the 100th episode?
Yeah,
hashtag
so
100.
Hashtag 100, baby.
There you go.
I'm happy for you. I'm excited to be on your 100th episode. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Lots of fun, and I look forward. I always like to give everyone a little task. Is it okay if I do that?
Absolutely.
So I want you all to come on over to Instagram, obviously, and I'd love you to follow Sue B. Zimmerman, but if you don't want to follow Sue B. Zimmerman, come over to the Instagram expert and leave a comment on one of my posts and say, I'm coming over from the interview I heard you on with Alex, and it's nice to connect, because I always like to know why people start following me. And now that I've been on so many different interviews, it's fun to see which ones are really promoting the link and how people are finding me and listening to the interview. So it's great.
Thank you, everybody, for a great show.
Yeah.
And we look forward to 100 more interviews with everybody. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching the Marketing Optimization Podcast with Alex Designs. Please remember to subscribe to all of the videos in my YouTube channel. Thank you.